There is a discomfort that a lot of people carry but rarely confess. It is not sadness, it is not fatigue. It is something thinner, almost a background pulse, a small internal vibration that refuses to explain itself, a sense that something is missing in the world, as if reality lost a secret layer, as if life has been quietly scraped clean, as if the planet shrank on the inside, not in distance but in depth. Things still happen. Notifications are louder than ever. Opportunities appear. Places exist. People move. Yet almost nothing surprises. And without surprise, the emotional door does not open. So the question rises, not from one person but an entire generation. Why does nothing feel exciting anymore? Before we hunt for answers, we need to stare at something uncomfortable. Mystery is gone, and without mystery, enchantment collapses. Human beings were shaped by the unknown. For thousands of years, the world held shadows filled with promise. Not the shadows of danger, but of depth. Gaps, unmarked paths, silences that allowed imagination to bloom. Curiosity evolved as a survival tool. Expectation kept us alive. Possibility charged the nervous system. The unknown moved us forward. Now, nothing hides. The planet is mapped, scanned, photographed, uploaded, reviewed, commented, geotagged, and archived. Every mountain peak has a drone view. Every village has a vlog. Every culture has a digital representative doing a live stream from the main square. The brain was never designed for perfect visibility. Dopamine does not arise from certainty. It arises from the interval between imagining and knowing, from the gap that holds potential. When the gap is eliminated, fascination evaporates. Everything lies in plain light, and when light is everywhere, depth disappears. Neuroscience has a term for this: prediction saturation. When the brain knows too much in advance, it shuts curiosity off to save energy. The mind becomes efficient but emotionally flat. The cost of eliminating mystery is simple. You get a world that makes sense but no longer moves you. There is another shift that few people discuss with honesty. Adventure did not die. It was packaged. Traveling used to be an initiation. It was a crossing of thresholds. It demanded patience, courage, improvisation. It carved stories into people. Every journey expanded the inner world because it confronted the traveler with something resistant, unpredictable, alive. Now travel is logistics. Click, pay, wait, land. The path is optimized and safe. The surprise is minimal. The unknown is cleared away by thousands of reviews explaining exactly what you will see, smell, hear, and feel. Psychologists call this anticipatory compression. The experience shrinks before it begins. The mind feels it has already lived what it is about to live. Zapffe called it spiritual unemployment. The old tasks that shape the soul have been outsourced to systems that promise comfort. The crossing is gone. Only movement remains. Movement without transformation. This is why people take extraordinary trips yet return unchanged. Same perspective, same inner landscape, same emotional baseline. The journey became short, and when the journey is short, the self becomes small. There is a modern phenomenon that hits harder than we admit. Reality no longer owns experience. Simulations do. We encounter previews long before encounters. Highly optimized versions of places, people, relationships, choices, even emotions. Everything arrives edited, color-corrected, curated, amplified. You fall in love with a city before walking its streets. You romanticize a lifestyle before touching its weight. You imagine yourself somewhere using a collage built from the best fragments that algorithms could harvest. Then you meet reality, unedited, quiet, slow, texture instead of spectacle. and it feels weaker than the idea you built. The rendered world defeats the real one. The highlight reel beats the moment itself. This is the critical fracture. Representation became more stimulating than action. Once that reversal happens, nothing external stands a chance. Life loses to its own advertisement. You feel tired not because life is empty, but because your expectations are artificially inflated. Reality is not disappointing. Your standard is. Global aesthetic repetition silently crushes excitement. Cities adopt the same signs, the same stores, the same architecture, the same coffee shops with the same playlists and the same polished concrete. The world is flattening, not in geography, but in style. Byung Chul Han called this the terror of sameness, not aggression in the physical sense, but a soft erasure of difference, not the elimination of people but of ways of existing. The other disappears, and without the other, there is no contrast. Without contrast, there is no emotional spark. Emotion is born from difference. Repetition kills it. Let us be blunt. The brain was not built for this level of stimulation. The modern human faces too much choice, too many images, too many comparisons, too many opinions, too many distractions, too many possibilities, too many realities stacked on top of each other. The result is shutdown. Psychology calls this desensitization. Neuroscience calls it dopaminergic saturation. Sociology calls it the exhaustion of attention. Philosophy calls it the death of presence. You did not lose the ability to feel. Your emotional sensitivity was buried under excess. When everything is intense, nothing feels intense. When everything is accessible, nothing feels precious. When everything is visible, nothing feels magical. You are not apathetic, you are overloaded. And overload blocks emotion. What can still feel exciting? The answer is not to escape to another country. The other country looks increasingly similar. It is not to abandon all technology. The modern world has already colonized your inner architecture. So where is it? It lies in recovering mystery, not by accident, but by posture. Emotion moved to a smaller, more demanding place. Your way of looking, your way of walking, your way of entering an experience. Excitement now requires effort. It must be produced, cultivated, protected. The ease of the world killed enchantment. So enchantment must rise through voluntary difficulty. Less anticipation, less preview, less optimization, less algorithm, more open terrain, more uncertainty, more presence, more friction. You reclaim mystery when you allow unpredicted life to touch you again. You reclaim emotion when you demand depth instead of convenience. You reclaim excitement when you choose the path that resists you a little. This will not bring back the old world, but it will give birth to a deeper one. And depth is the only emotion that does not age. There comes a moment when you look around and realize the world feels strangely muted. You wake up, check your phone, scroll through thousands of possibilities, and yet nothing inside you moves. It is not sadness. It is not exhaustion. It is something softer and harder at the same time. A quiet erosion of wonder. Somewhere along the way, mystery faded. Everything became knowable, predictable, previewed. We see places before stepping into them. We judge experiences before living them. We consume the highlight reel long before we touch the real moment. And little by little, the world loses its bite. The mind stops leaning forward. The heart stops lifting. The spark goes out. But here is the truth no one tells you. Excitement does not vanish by accident. It slips away because we stopped giving ourselves to life with the same openness we once had. We traded risk for comfort. We traded curiosity for certainty. We traded the unknown for safety. The good news is that wonder is not dead. It is waiting for you in the small spaces where you allow yourself to feel again. In the moments where you stop anticipating and start experiencing. in the choices where you step slightly out of the well-lit path and let life surprise you again. The world has not become less magical. We just forgot how to look at it with the eyes we had before everything became an archive. Recovering excitement is not about traveling farther or doing more. It is about choosing to be present enough for life to reach you. And if you are here, watching this, listening to this, thinking with me, then you are already taking that step. You are already part of a small group of people who still search for depth in a world that prefers shortcuts. That alone means a lot. Now, if you want to support this channel in a deeper way, there are two paths. You can become a channel member, which helps keep this work alive and gives you extra content, early access, a closer connection, and a place in a community that values meaning over noise. Or, if you want to support a single video, you can use Super Thanks. It is a simple way to say that this message mattered to you. But listen carefully. Even if you do nothing besides watch, reflect, and be here, you are already helping more than you think. Your presence keeps this space breathing. Your attention keeps the conversation alive. And if one day you decide to share this video or join as a member, know that it is not just support. It is a gesture that tells me this work speaks to you in a way that deserves energy in return. No pressure, no guilt, only gratitude. And a quiet invitation to be part of something that goes beyond the screen.